I moved to Charleston from Western Pennsylvania 20 years ago. Saying it out loud makes me feel old. Maybe you're thinking about moving to Charleston, or maybe you've already made up your mind and you're just here mentally preparing yourself for what's to come. Either way, there are some things that I really wish I had known before I packed up my life up north and landed in the low country. Some of them would have saved me a headache. Some of them would have helped me adjust just a little bit faster, and a few, well, I wouldn't have believed them until I saw them for myself. Like, for example, the fact that cockroaches can fly. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. My name is Deneen Gary, the Southern Living Yankee, and a realtor in Charleston, South Carolina, and the surrounding areas. And I love helping people just like you relocate to Charleston. Whether you're buying, selling, or simply exploring the market, I'm here with honest advice and local insights. Before we go any further, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos about life in Charleston and the rest of the Lowcountry. Okay, let's start with the big one, the thing that everybody thinks they understand, but really and truly, they don't until they experience it: the weather. Now, I knew it was going to be warm. I knew I wasn't going to be scraping ice off my windshield in April anymore, thank goodness. But what I wasn't prepared for was stepping outside in the middle of July and feeling like I had just walked straight into the world's largest sauna. Charleston isn't just hot, it's humid. And if you're from up north, there's really nothing that you can do to prepare for it. There is no summer day in Pennsylvania, New York, or Ohio, or wherever you're from, that will give you a taste of what it feels like to walk outside at 9 a.m. and instantly have your clothes stick to you. You just have to experience it. And when you do, you'll understand why everyone here has a screened-in porch with a fan going 24/7. And speaking of weather, let's talk about the one that always seems to make the headlines: hurricanes. Now, if you're anything like me, the idea of hurricanes might have made you feel a little nervous before moving here. But let me tell you something. I've lived here for almost 20 years, and in all that time, we've only had one hurricane actually come through. Matthew, in 2016. And even then, it was either a high category 2 or a low category 3. Honestly, I don't even know if they ever officially decided. I mean, I'm sure they did, but by the time they made up their minds, we were outside raking up the leaves and branches that had fallen in the yard, because that was really and truly the only problem that we had from that storm. So while hurricanes technically are a thing here, they're not an every year thing, total destruction. Now, flooding, that's another story, and we'll get to that later. What is an every year kind of thing is something that I call false fall and false spring. You see, up north, we have clear, distinct seasons. The leaves turn colors, the air gets crisp, and you know that fall's arrived. Here, fall teases you. You get one cool morning in late September, and maybe even a second one the next week. And just when you start pulling out your sweaters and jackets and you get all excited for boot weather, bam, it's 88 degrees again and you're sweating through your jeans. And don't even get me started on fall spring. That one's just cruel. You get this beautiful stretch of warm, sunny days in February and you start getting your hopes up. And then just when you think winter is over, it drops to almost freezing overnight. And suddenly your windshield has frost on it again. Oh, and every once in a while, we do get snow. I'm talking like every decade. We actually had our once a decade snowfall earlier this year, 4 whole inches. And let me tell you, it shut everything down. Schools, businesses, roads, completely closed. Not because the roads were that bad, but because people down here don't know how to drive in snow and we don't have the equipment for it. And I say that with love. I personally do know how to drive in it, but I've learned that the safest thing to do is just to stay at home, because no matter how much experience I have, the guy in the giant truck who thinks that four-wheel drive makes him invincible definitely does not. And I would rather not have to find that out firsthand. And yet, somehow, after it snows, everyone in Charleston feels the need to go out and take pictures at all of their favorite landmarks. Like, yes, I see that it snowed on Rainbow Row. Thank you for the 500 pictures on Facebook. Now, let me tell you about something that completely caught me off guard: the pollen. Oh my goodness. If you've never lived in the South before, let me just prepare you. Springtime in Charleston means everything, and I mean absolutely everything, gets coated in a thick layer of yellow-green pollen. Your car? Yellow. Your porch, yellow. Your dog, probably yellow. It's like all the trees have a meeting one day and decided to just dump a blanket of pollen on every surface in sight. And if you have allergies, just go ahead and stock up on antihistamines now, because it's going to hit you hard. But here's the good news. It only lasts for a few weeks. And once it's gone, we get to enjoy the most beautiful spring seasons that you'll ever experience. Now let's talk about something that nobody warned me about before I moved here, and I really, really wish they would have. The bugs. First of all, mosquitoes. Oh my gosh, they are everywhere, and they're ruthless. If you are standing outside at dusk without bug spray on, you're dinner. That's why those screened-in porches I mentioned earlier aren't just a nice feature, they're pretty much a necessity. You think we have tiki torches lit for the ambiance, but it's really trying to minimize those pesky bloodsuckers. But mosquitoes aren't even the worst ones. No, that horror goes to the palmetto bug. Sounds cute, right? Like, oh, it's probably some kind of little beetle. No, it is a giant flying cockroach. And I say flying loosely because they don't actually know how to fly. They just launch themselves in a direction and hope for the best. Usually right at your face. No, I'm kidding. Or am I? Now let's talk about people, because if you're coming from the north, this is going to be an adjustment. People here are nice, and I mean really nice. They smile at you, they make eye contact, they say hi when you're walking down the street. And if you're from somewhere like New York, your first instinct might be, why is this person talking to me? Do they need something? No, that's just how people are here. You do not meet strangers in Charleston. It doesn't matter where you go, whether it's the grocery store, gas station, or just walking down the street. People are going to talk to you. And if they find out you're from up north, oh, they're definitely going to ask you where you're from. And when you tell them, you're going to see a little shift in their expression. I mean, they won't say anything, like most of the time, but they're noting it, especially if you're from Ohio, because it's the #1 state that moves here. Oh, and somehow, no matter where you're from, they are probably going to know somebody from there, or at least claim they do. I can't tell you how many times I have been told that I have a twin in Moncks Corner. Apparently, we even drove similar cars at one point, and someone swore that they saw me somewhere one day when I wasn't even in the area, but they insisted. Okay, let's talk about the phrases. You might think you speak English, but down here you're going to hear a few new expressions that take some getting used to. Bless your heart is not always a compliment. Fixin' to means someone's about to do something, but on their timeline, which could mean 5 minutes or next week. And y'all is just everywhere. I don't use that word, I promise, but you will hear it all the time. And then there's the pace of life. In Charleston, things just move slower. People take their time, whether you're at a restaurant, the grocery store, or even just driving. You're going to notice that nobody seems to be in a rush. And at first, if you're used to a fast-paced city, it might drive you crazy. But then one day you'll realize that you're less stressed and you're actually enjoying things. You're not just rushing through your to-do list and experiencing life. And that's when you'll know that Charleston has officially changed you. Now, something else you should know before you move here is the traffic. I know. If you're coming from a place like New York City or DC, you're probably rolling your eyes right now. And honestly, I had a client do the same thing. He lives 30 minutes outside of New York, and when I mentioned the traffic, he pretty much laughed at me. Then one day he found himself in Somerville at 5 p.m., and the next morning he was like, okay, I get it now. It's not big city traffic, but it is messy and unpredictable. A 15-minute drive can easily turn into 45 minutes for no apparent reason. And then let's talk about driving for a second, because if you're coming from somewhere with a grid system, the Charleston roads, they're going to confuse you. There's no rhyme or reason to them. A road can change names like 3 times in 5 miles. You'll get directions like take 17 to 41, but don't miss the turn onto 526. And if you see the Piggly Wiggly, you've gone too far. And you'll be like, I have no idea what any of that means. But don't worry, because you'll learn. And once you do, you'll get why people say things like, oh, it's just over by Shem Creek, instead of giving actual directions. And while we're on the topic of getting around, let's talk about directions. Up north, we give directions in miles. Oh, it's about 5 miles down the road. Down here, everything is given in time and landmarks, like Oh yeah, it's about 15 minutes away. Just turn left at the old store with the giant chicken statue. And the best part is that their store probably isn't even there anymore. Or maybe the store is, but the chicken statue, it's long gone. Oh, and flooding. Here's the deal. Technically, everywhere in the Low Country is in a flood zone, but that doesn't mean that you have to have flood insurance. That said, we do have areas that flood regularly, and if you were here for the 1,000-year flood in 2015, you definitely know where they are. And yet, every time it floods downtown, the news crews rush out to film people kayaking through the streets, like we forgot from the last time they did it. And then there is the pace of life. In Charleston, things do move slower. People take their time, whether you're at a restaurant, the grocery store, or even just driving. You'll notice that nobody seems to be in a rush. I was raised with the mindset that if you're not 5 minutes early, you're 5 minutes late. Well, here, if you're 15 minutes late, you're still 5 minutes early. Yeah! And at first, if you're used to a fast-paced city, it might drive you crazy. But then one day, you'll realize that you're less stressed. You're actually enjoying things, and you're not just rushing through your to-do list. You're experiencing life. And that is when you'll know that Charleston has officially changed you. So if you're thinking about moving to Charleston, now you know, and welcome to the adventure. My name is Deneen Gary, the Southern Living Yankee, and a realtor in Charleston, South Carolina, and the surrounding areas. And I love helping people just like you find home. Whether you're buying, selling, or simply exploring the market, I'm here with honest advice and local insights. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos about life in Charleston and the rest of the Low Country. To find out how I can save you $1,000 on your closing costs, download my relocation guide. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me. So long for today.